what is GHRC? Global HR Community is a community platform for people managers that's built on an AI platform and brings together people managers, business leaders, HR professionals, entrepreneurs, and students to promote excellence through people in individual, organization, and the society at a large through a guiding principles of connect, learn, and grow. GHRC, as it's popularly called, has been founded by S.V. Nathan, ex-CHRO Deloitte India, Mr. Shrikant Arimanithaya, ex-CHRO and Global Head of EY Delivery, Mr. Ramesh Ranjan, ex-CHRO of Schneider Electric India. So in a short span of 8 months, we have subscribed to around 1,750 members enlisted with us. Our Britannia, Machani Group, Westcorp, TE Connectivity, Natural Remedies, iValue, Carolon, High Gains, Unext, and so on. And we are still growing and praying to grow. Honored with India 5,000 Top MSME Awards, GHRC has cemented its position as a leader in HR space, ranked among the top 10 HR communities in the world by LinkedIn. We are proud to have a thriving community of 6,000 followers on the LinkedIn, reflecting our global impact and influence, and thanks to all of you. The platform is built under the guiding principles, as I said, of discover, connect, learn, grow, and contribute. Discover, explore 50 plus self-assessment tools and cutting-edge insights to uncover your potential and thrive in people management and leadership. Connect, to join a global network of professionals to build meaningful relationships. Access mentorship, collaborate on impactful initiatives. Learn, upskill with about 150,000 courses, 25 curated courses of GHRC, training in 1,800 plus skills, access to a vast library of resources for a lifelong learning and career progression. Grow, accelerate your growth with your job board, gamification features, analytics, opportunities to participate in exclusive events and workshops. Contribute, shape the future by sharing expert mentoring, engaging in community-driven initiatives that drive positive impact and innovation. So we offer a variety of kinds of annual membership in GHRC, which is customized to your profile, and we will be glad to assist you for the enrollment as a member of GHRC as you see value in our platform. So without further ado, what I would request is we will be having a little networking before we start our panel discussion. So y'all can come on to the video, probably take half a minute of your time or 1 minute because we have so many people here. Explain about yourself, and probably if there is lack of time, I would also encourage you all to give your details on the chat box so that people can connect with you, and we can also connect with you, and you all can connect with each other. And once we send out the feedback forms after this program, you will be receiving the copy of people that you all have met during this event as well, so that you all can network in between each other. Okay, so without much ado, I move on to the program. Ritika, could you take over?
So open forum now for networking.
Yeah,
so anybody who's interested can come forward to discuss, talk to each other. We have a hard stop at 7:25, so 7:30 we'll start the webinar.
Yes.
The whole idea is that we give opportunity for people to network. This was one of the requests from a lot of our members. We said that half an hour before every webinar, we'll give an opportunity for people to interact, to introduce themselves. If they want to say something about their organization or about their self, or if they're seeking for any help, hopefully not a job, this is the platform to come and interact and discuss.
Anybody can go ahead. Just switch on your videos. Some of you are already on. You can just give a
We would
little
like to
brief.
see people's handsome and pretty faces when they come on the discussions.
Hi, myself Abhijat, currently based in Bangalore, working as an HR leader with Aviva Software. So yeah, my motivation for joining this session was, of course, I want to learn more about AI, especially in the HR domain. And in case any of the organizations are using, want to know more how it is benefiting the organizations in current context and what's the future.
Nice.
Sure.
You could probably drop in your details as well on your chat box with your name, email ID, phone number, so and what you do in just one line so that people can get in touch with you.
I'm sure we would do some justice to this question during the webinar.
Hi, Yugender.
We have a elite panel to share their experiences, thoughts. So I'm sure many of your questions will be answered.
So, I don't know. I was just reading the Gartner top priorities for HR leaders for 2025, and technology in HR is among the top five, and it's really bumped up in terms of the priority compared to the last year. And it was very interesting to see that almost 80% of us in HR still use technology overall. I'm not talking about AI alone. Overall, purely for drawing efficiencies and very transactional kind of areas, right? And with AI and generative AI, the opportunity to influence the strategic areas has gone up so much, and there's a lot of
Can't hear you, Narayan. Yeah, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear him, Ramesh.
Little disturbance, but yeah, please.
There's so much more of potential to use it more strategically. And by the way, this is also among the top 3 priorities for CEOs in 2025. So very, very interesting and very timely discussion, I guess.
Absolutely. Peter Tremendous was here some time back. He was sharing this. How, the average, what I call the intelligence quotient of an average citizen of this world has bumped up by 13%. This was 6 months back, right? Thanks to AI. So, as you rightly said, right, people have to move up the value chain because the operations and the actions at the bottom end of the value chain is going to be automated or using AI. This gives an opportunity for people to move up the value chain and be more strategic.
Yeah. So we move on to
Yes, Swapna. Anyone else, feel free to come on
screen
the
and
discussion.
yeah, we are trying to give you all the space, so please utilize it.
Yeah, hi. Hello.
Yeah, hi,
Gunjan.
Gunjan.
Yeah.
Hi, Gunjan.
Yeah, hi, hello. So I am Ms. Kunjan Sondake. So basically, I have joined this webinar to learn AI generative and to building a career in more probably in AI software testing. Yeah. So I am a senior software test engineer at InnovaPoint Software Private Limited company, which is at Pune. Yes, so I have joined this to learn more the things in automation career. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Up
We
next
also
will be
encourage you to join this community itself, not just this webinar. Going forward, if you see value, I believe it will be a great help to you to network with the fellow professionals and then to connect, to learn, and to grow.
Yeah.
And also
yes.
one more
Thank
thing, Gunjan, for you, which may be interesting to you because we are going to be having a workshop as well.
Okay.
Workshop as well, which is going to be conducted on the 29th of January. Okay, it's a one-day workshop which we are conducting. And we are trying to give an embedded prize along with the membership as well as the workshop. So for anybody who's interested in that, please do get in touch with us.
Yes,
And
yes.
we'll give you
I will
the
definitely join the workshop. Okay.
Okay,
And
great.
please
Yeah.
visit our LinkedIn page and follow so that you get to know what's happening in the GHRC community.
Okay. GHRC community.
We got your
Subha,
details.
we can put on the chat our LinkedIn page.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
done.
Yeah.
Who's next on the roll call? Yes, please do
Just
come forward.
I mean, sorry, I have already spoken, but I mean, just want to share one thing. Since I am somebody who is very heavily invested into productivity and working in focus blocks, when emails were introduced in early 90s, one of the main objectives was to enhance productivity, enhance efficiency, because that time they used to send parcels from one city to another over weekends and over weekend instantly and instant messages. But it has actually turned out to be completely counterproductive. And today, emails and instant messages are the biggest detriment to productivity. That is the reality. Research says an average individual loses up to 3 hours just to recover from distractions caused by emails. So, I mean, when we say AI will enhance, will make people move up the chain, I mean, sometimes the way technology influences is completely, you never know.
True, but I feel that it's also the reason how we are going to use it. Because for us, if you see us under sales and operations, it's a blessing to us to have all these kind of gadgets available to connect with people. And also, I would say like WhatsApp or even an email. These are email, of course, it's been for a long time, but the WhatsApp has picked up so much, and it's so easy to connect with people. Send details, and I mean, I think personally, as from my portfolio, it's helped me a lot. So I guess it's depending on how much we use it and for what we use it.
And just
Sometimes
to add to
there's an overkill. Yeah, there's an overkill at times. Yeah, Narayan.
There's a lot of spamming that happens, and so the differentiator between what is relevant and what is spam is becoming more and more blurred.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest, as he says, it is a deterrent, and obviously, I think evolution will take care of it. We will, and that technology will evolve to filter this very well. I think it's just a matter of time.
It's a necessary evil, I will say.
At the moment, yeah. Hopefully,
that's
it
what
will.
Unavoidable necessary evil.
yeah, that's what somebody said, right? AI is not going to take your job. Not, learning or not, upskilling yourself, not being educated about AI is definitely going to take your job. So
Right.
I agree, Ramesh. It's a necessary evil. I mean, it's a given.
I don't want to occupy time. Others, I'll tell you something, but let's see. Let's listen to others.
Yeah, anybody else? Y'all can even type on the chat about your details. What we require would be basically it's for your own good as well. Your name, email ID, the company, and what you do. And please do come forward on the video to talk a little. We'll be very happy to receive you. Hi, Arjun.
Hi,
I didn't understand. Yeah, hi.
sorry, Ramesh. Hi, good evening. My name is
Please go ahead.
Arjun. So I'm based out of Bangalore. So I just have one question since the webinar is based on AI for workforce. Is there an organization which we look at as a benchmark as of today when it comes to adopting AI in workforce? It can either at national level or international level.
I think
See, I don't think there's enough research done as of now because AI itself, at least the democratization of AI is just about a year old, with ChatGPT coming in just about a year back. Before that, probably it was only restricted to the rich and the famous and in the labs and at a very high level. But having percolated down to the grassroots level is just about a years old. I don't think there's enough data to suggest which is a benchmark now. But I guess Google must be one of the front runners because they are the ones who have been using AI for quite some time and they've been very progressive. I guess they could be
Amazon,
one of the front.
Google, Amazon,
Yeah.
Google, and Microsoft could be the front runners, but it's very difficult to say because a lot of times AI-based automation is used in manufacturing, and these three don't fall in that. So it's yes, as you mentioned, it's going to be difficult to benchmark this yet, and there are no official benchmarks available for us to quote. It wouldn't be right as well for us to quote this. But there's a lot happening on manufacturing.
Yeah.
And it is surprising that there is so much that's happening with technology, and the benefit of technology is visible in automobiles, in
Supply chain management.
in medicine, in tough supply chain, a lot of things that's happening.
Okay. Or probably I can probably uh, just articulate my question a bit more in a different way. That is there any specific industry or sector which faces a risk of losing its majority of its workforce because of the adoption of AI? I mean, IT, yes, IT is there. It is sector agnostic, but any specific industry or sector which, because of the adoption of AI, we kind of see this. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just bouncing it since it's a forum. Just want to hear this out.
Content creators could be at risk, right? Your Marcom guys, your multimedia guys could be at risk because today AI can create images, create videos, can create campaigns. So content creators, journalists, many of them could be at risk going forward.
May I add here? So
Uh,
basically, I would say not just content creators and other things. The first jobs would go out would be the developers, because the way it's mainly the IT workforce that we're looking at, all of that is going to get replaced within 4 to 5 years. The entire industry, mainly the outsourcing industry, where you're using Indian staffing teams to work on, will actually get replaced.
So
Because the
at the
vector
lower end of the value chain, yeah.
I'm not so sure. I'm taking the liberty.
will compete. Yeah, we'll discuss.
I'm taking the liberty to, dispute that, argue on that front. I'm not so sure. While it appears to be like that, there has to be upskilling at developer level as well, and
They
there
would
must
have,
be
but like
enough that, yeah.
the
Sorry.
way we have been doing an outsourced staffing specifically for a lot of maintenance work, a lot of regular work that we have been doing, that's going to go up.
Yeah.
We will anyway connect that in during the panel discussion. That's it. Probably I don't know.
I think if I can add 2 cents here, the only jobs that AI would replace would be the repetitive jobs. Something that, you just keep repeating and repeating. And I think those are the kind of jobs. AI basically is here to support the human interface, elevate their upskilling and reach the next levels and use their capacity for strategic thinking. So wherever there's an opportunity, that will happen. But otherwise, I don't see a risk of jobs getting lost by people, wherein the strategic or the creative aspect still, is there.
Yeah, adding on
Stick
to
to
what
years, Kanika.
yeah. Adding on to what Kanika said, I would recommend that, while this is always a challenge, first thing when any organization starts implementing AI, there is the fear that will I lose my job? Will I still be there? And this causes a lot of, anxiety, tension, right? Only one thing that an organization or the leaders can do is start upskilling employees. We have the human skills, right? It could be in terms of your critical skills, in terms of we are unique, right? We are the conscious mission. So I think we have to encourage, or we have to start upskilling employees in the different skills so that they know that, we will still be here and we are crucial for our organization.
I'd like to give an example here about HR technology, which is a space I am very actively involved. In fact, we have a HR technology platform. Everybody thought that when payroll is automated, leave and attendance is automated, HR operations will get limited. I don't see that happening. I deal with almost 500 companies regularly. They use our product, and I don't see HR staff going down, the numbers going down. So I mean, this is still HR operations. So as HR strategy is evolving, AI coming inside, AI has already come in a big way. But the recruitment numbers are still very high. You may think that the IT industry the recruitment has gone down, but that's not the truth. If you see absolute numbers of recruitment, there is still a lot of recruitment happening. It's actually going up, and engagement at the place is also going up. There's 33% engagement in the US, which is record high at the workforce level. Yes, well-being has been going down, but engagement is going up. So a lot is happening in spite of automation that happened, and AI is the next level automation, is facilitating next level automation. So if automation has not taken away jobs, then I'm not sure that advanced automation will take away too many jobs. Yes, we have to skill like you mentioned.
I agree, Vendor. And just to add, it's interesting that most of the research, let's say whether it's McKinsey or World Economic Forum, are projecting that there will be more jobs created than the ones that are being lost in terms of sheer numbers. But just that it's a little more complex than what meets our eyes. So, for example, I think the whole, from an organization perspective, talent management function perspective, we really have to step back and fundamentally look at where is your business headed, what are your strategic priorities, and what kind of skills and capabilities you want to build. because I think one of the areas that people are lost is we don't know what the future skills are going to look like beyond what you need for the next maybe 12 months, because technology is evolving so fast, right? So that's where I think a lot more strategic intervention is required. Just to give you one more example, we haven't even started really thinking about it. How many of us organizations have really reworked our job descriptions? We still have the same stack of roles and levels, whereas we ourselves know that, hey, the bottom stack is going away. Now, if the bottom stack is going away, it doesn't mean people are losing jobs. It means that that's an opportunity to really move people up the value chain. But that also means the roles have to be redefined. There is, their KRAs and KPIs have to be redefined. Their learning paths and career paths have to be redefined. So I think it's a little more complex than what meets our eye at this point.
Bang on, Narayanan. I think I think it's more a race for the organizations to understand what their future ready skill set would look like in the next 5 years or 10 years, rather than individuals worrying about their jobs, right?
Absolutely.
So I have been with some of the organizations that have already started working on this, but again, the strategic thinking is still missing in the organizations to understand how they would want to envision their organization 5 years or 10 years from now to build that kind of workforce.
Yeah, completely
Can
agree.
I add?
Sure.
As Sir Narayana told, I'd like to have some insights from all of the members here respected, because I am just a BTech student from Galgotias University in my third year of CSE AIML. So we have several subjects like soft computing and iOS development and Swift computing, etc. So we learn a lot. As I have the specialization of AIML, we learn a lot about these. So what I had prepared for a hackathon next is, why not we create something like AIs, which has already analyzed whatever we say, and they give us a direct direct answer to all the problems. So why not we can synchronize with all the application, like already Apple has done that. Like they have so many kinds of applications in their phone, like fitness app, like the health app and other app, and they synchronize that with the other application, and then optimize that with how the people want to use the phone. Like if they want to put their phone on do not disturb and put the phone on focus mode, the entire application and the entire phone goes in synchronization to help the person. So I think so right now people are much more relying on artificial intelligence more than human intelligence. So what I want to do for the community and for the humanity is to understand one's individual's own potential and try to do ourselves better. And of course, if we do that parallelly with AI, then as this like Ramesh sir told in the beginning of the webinar, that anything with AI sells. So I think so. Like I need more insights from all of you all to plan this strategically so that I can implement this. I had thought already the application's name as Your Mind, so that people want to depend on themselves first with the help of AI, how they can channelize their mission, vision, and their every person has a unique selling point. I feel like every person is unique, so they should know their own skills and own potential and try to work on themselves first, and then like they will do better in terms of understanding. Like I have seen here, people don't understand which domain they should choose because they don't understand which domain they are capable of most to work on. If I want to do full stack development from my childhood, but right now I have chosen AIML as my specialization. So I'm more intrigued about learning how we should know the
Sri,
market strategies.
sure. I don't get your name. What's your name? Sri is love. I don't know what it means. Anyway, so very well said, Sri. We will take your point. We'll be more than happy to connect with you and see how we can take some of your ideas forward, and also see how some of us on this call plus in the GHRC fraternity can help put your dreams into action, right? So please reach out to us after this call, after this discussions. We can reach out and see how we can help you in terms of materializing some of your ideas, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
So I think Ritika, let's get going now that it's 7:30. So let's get going, Ritika, with the second part of our program.
Yes. So, welcome to GHRC. We are thrilled to have you all join us today for our panel discussion, Building Winning Workplace with AI. So, this is a 90 minutes webinar that will be moderated by Mr. Ramesh Ranjan, who is a co-founder and CEO of GHRC. And our panelists bring a wealth of knowledge and diverse perspective to the table. Let me introduce them to you. First, we have Viral Vora. Viral Vora, CEO of Cogby and CFirst, is a visionary technology entrepreneur with over 20 years of dynamic leadership experience. Known for his passion and commitment to innovation, Viral has been instrumental in building world-class applications that redefine HR technology. Under his guidance, Cogby and CFirst have emerged as pioneers in delivering transformative strategies and cutting-edge solutions in the HR tech industry. Next, we have Priya Nair. Priya Nair is a senior director and a global head of learning and development at UserReady. She is a seasoned leadership coach with over 20 years of expertise in people development. She excels in competency mapping, organizational development, and leadership training. With certification in frameworks such as situational leadership and Wellbeing team roles, Priya is passionate about cultivating strong learning culture and driving impactful talent development strategies. Next, we have Yugender Penabolu. Yugender, who is a co-founder of 24/7 HRM, Winning Workplaces, and HR Payroll Outsourcing, and he is also the author of Transformational Lens. He is a entrepreneur and visionary leader with over 2 decades of experience managing large, diverse teams. With 5 years as a HR tech entrepreneur, Yugender focuses on workforce engagement and empowerment. Then we have Paresh Masade. Paresh Masade, known as a full stack founder. He is a mechanical and industrial engineer with a passion for programming and design. An IIM Mumbai alumni, Paresh turned the challenges of the 2009 recession into an opportunity to innovate in web development and entrepreneurship. As the founder of WOW, he has revolutionized alumni relations to address employability and organizational growth challenges, establishing WOW as a trusted alumni management software in 21 countries. Last but not the least, we have Kanika Mathur. Kanika Mathur, Chief People Officer at Athify. She is a HR leader with over 21 years of experience in global organizations, specializing in talent development, HR transformation, and fostering inclusive culture. Kanika is committed to empowering teams to thrive in dynamic, AI-driven environment. Her expertise lies in aligning people strategies with business growth and delivering lasting impact. Once again, I warmly welcome you all for this exciting panel discussion. Without a further ado, I would want Ramesh sir to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritika, for the wonderful introductions. I don't think we could have got better people to talk to us about winning workplace with AI. In today's rapidly evolving world, AI has become a transformative force, redefining the future of work and reshaping the workplaces globally. AI is no longer a futuristic concept, as someone said. It's already here, driving efficiencies, improving employee experiences, enabling organizations to thrive in a competitive environment. Did you know, according to PwC, AI is expected to contribute 15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, revolutionizing industries worldwide. A McKinsey study reveals that companies integrating AI in workplace operations see a 20 to 30% improvement in efficiency and 50% reduction in repetitive tasks, as some of you all said earlier. Yet the World Economic Forum estimates that 50% of employees will need reskilling by 2025. I again repeat, 2025, 50% of our employees will need reskilling as AI continues to change the workplace dynamics. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, says AI is defining technology of our time, transforming every industry and every aspect of our daily lives. Similarly, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, states AI is one of the most profound things we are working on as humanity. It's more profound than fire and electricity. The big question is how can organizations leverage AI to create not just productive but a winning workplace? So, to deliberate on this interesting topic, let me turn my first question to Kanika. The future is not about man versus machine, it's about man with machine. This is what Klaus Schwab, the founder of World Economic Forum, said some time back. Research again says 80% of executives believe AI will be critical for decision making by 2025, and this is a Gartner report. And according to PwC, AI integration in operations increases profitability by 21%. So, Kanika, what are the top 3 ways AI is transforming workplaces today? Can you share some examples from real life industry and your own organization?
Sure. Thank you so much, Ranjan. I think it's a very interesting question. For me, the top 3 ways AI is transforming the workplaces today include automating the processes for efficiencies and scale. And when I say that, I think the pointer during the initial discussion also came. Anything which is time consuming, anything which is repetitive, by automating these processes, organizations or workplaces will be able to free up a lot of human resources to focus on strategic and on creative tasks. Interestingly, I was going through a PayPal case study, and PayPal has done a wonderful job by automating some of their processes and bringing in AI, especially starting with the new hire onboarding process. Some of the things that they did were, automating the pre-employment document collection, which actually reduced the back and forth going to the candidates. They did some seamless integrations with HR and IT systems. They got in the understanding on the bottlenecks and used AI to, get over those bottlenecks and, bring in efficiencies on their onboarding process. They also came up with templates, basically for communication with the new joinees to keep them abreast with the new onboarding, conversations so that they feel that they're a part of the organization at every step. And they brought in about 30% efficiencies in a couple of months by introducing this. So again, going back to this, it reduced a lot of their manual workload. There was a faster time to productivity schedule that was optimized and delivered. And definitely the new hire experience went up in the organization. If I look at my own organization where I work, I think we leverage AI to handle our labor-intensive processes like influencer discovery, job readiness checks. So for some of you who may not know, I come from an organization by the name of Atisfy, and it's a data-driven organization that actually helps the organizations in their marketing strategies. So we have 2 platforms by the name of Atisfy and Atisfy Reach. Identifying the influencers for brands is a very, very cumbersome task, a manual task. And I think our platforms have actually delivered that, and doing the job readiness checks, contract generations and everything. That's how we are leveraging that to automate the processes. To talk about the second point in terms of how AI is doing a fantastic job in the workplaces today, I think the enhanced decision-making with predictive analytics. I think AI helps organizations make informed decisions by analyzing tons of data that they have. Anything that they have experienced in the past is something that AI records and does the predictive analytics to help them understand how they can better take decisions to progressively move ahead in organizations. In our industry, I think it is very, very critical because it matches the right influencers with the right brands Our algorithms predict campaign outcomes, optimize influencer selection based on the target audience, and so on and so forth. That's how the organization is supporting the enhanced decision making for predictive analytics in our industry. Last but not the least, I think the personalization and scalability. AI allows businesses to scale operations while delivering personalized experiences. For instance, if I talk about our platform, it democratizes influencer marketing by enabling brands to collaborate with influencers without any negotiations. So there's a based on the firepower score of the influencers, the prices are set in the system, and brands don't really have to negotiate going back and forth, and they have their own budgets. So this is how we are personalizing and we are scaling the different brands to optimize their marketing campaigns in the industry. That's all from my side, Hemant. That I personally feel how AI is helping to transform the workplaces today.
Interesting, Kanika. I would now like to move on to the employee experience aspect of AI. Sundar Pichai says that AI doesn't make us faster. It gives us the clarity to focus on what truly matters. So research again tells us now that 62% of companies using AI in employee engagement report a 30% improvement in retention. This is Deloitte report. And Oracle has reported that 64% of employees trust AI more than managers for unbiased feedback. So Yugandha, how can AI be leveraged to improve employee engagement, retention, and satisfaction?
Thank you, Ranjan. I just wanted to tell you this is the most important aspect when an organization starts to look at delivering results. Employee experience, whichever organization it is, whichever industry it is, makes life easy for the organization, to plan, to deliver, and to celebrate along with it. So the organization is obviously made of people, and the employee's experience involves employee engagement, employee satisfaction, employee well-being, employee safety, employee loyalty, and advocacy. There are other aspects as well which influence this, but I'm going to choose probably these six big ones because when you talk about satisfaction, we're talking about people happily doing their work at work and they like to be at work. They don't crib out work. Employees tend to become disengaged or cynical if any of these six are not there. Employee loyalty would mean that employee looks at staying in the organization for a little longer than, let's assume, a year. Employee advocacy refers to employees speaking good about the company to other employees and outsiders. Employee well-being and safety talks about or involves things like mental safety, psychological safety, social safety, professional safety, and even sexual safety, for that matter. And so basically, these are all influencing factors for employee experience at an organization. And AI actually tends to play a big role now in assessing this, in identifying issues, in knowing the root cause analysis for those issues to be in place, and then to plan and then implement it, and then go through the circle again. And we as an organization, we have implemented many of these features with AI. We have a pulse kind of a survey. We have a full-fledged survey which we built with IIT Hyderabad. So 247 HRM has a product called winningworkplaces.ai, and it basically analyzes employee experience at the company, at an organization level. And there are other aspects which I spoke about, and those specific aspects also can be studied. But what's more important is that over the period of time, it is analyzed that engagement scores which are actually poor. Okay, so when I spoke about employee experience, I spoke about cynical employees, which basically which are sets of people who actually influence people negatively. Then disengaged people who are actually ones who do not like to do their job or don't really care what the outcome is. Engaged people, which I mean, they like to come to work, and actively engaged people who actually go ahead and speak good about the company, want to make a difference, and collaborate with people and make a big business result. So this is the classification of employees within an organization, and AI plays a big role because AI not uses multiple aspects, within the organization to build analytics and give us that kind of insight. And not just that, it has the power to enable action plans. So if you, for example, if Gen AI is able to create action plans on analytics that are received, okay, and algorithms, ML models, which ensure that there are certain aspects that are taken into consideration before coming to a conclusion, and root cause analysis and the possibilities of four things contributing to one issue makes us believe that AI can quickly give and more accurately give action plans for an organization. So at 24/7 HRM, we are able to, with AI, we are able to create action plans for insights that have been understood. We understand the insights, identify the root cause, and then build action plans using AI. And not just that, we're able to create dashboards to track progress on those action plans by assignment of the action plans to the right people. For example, let's take an example of if a particular, there's adverse engagement at a particular area, adverse well-being at a particular area, and so the area head could be the right person to take AI's implementation action plan to implementation in that space. So assignment, then action planning to implementation, and then tracking progress. This enables you to not just improve employee experience, but also continuously have a process in place that will identify the root cause, plan for it, collaborate with others to assign the actions that have been finalized, and then track progress over a period of time. So employee experience with AI can really go up. We are already testimony to it. We almost around 25 companies are using it already. So there is significant opportunity over here. While I'm saying all of this, there is a lot more that can be done to build loyalty in the company, to build advocacy in the company. Currently, AI is being used heavily on the hiring space, assessment at the hiring space, but retention, which we are talking about, and succession can happen when we look at employee experience and leverage on the insights that we can gain and implement it well. I hope.
Exactly. Absolutely, Yugandhar, as you rightly said, right? We many a time we've found that organizations do a lot of surveys on an annual basis, more as a ticker box exercise, but fail to follow through with the sentiments being expressed by the employees. And I think now with AI being available, sentiment analysis, sifting through the data and the feedbacks coming in from people, AI can be more relied upon than human judgment or human assessments. And I think it's very, very interesting to see how organizations like you are now starting to use AI in employee engagement and other initiatives.
We saw that insights are not enough. Action is important.
Correct.
Implementation
Absolutely.
is the most important thing. And that's where we need
Absolutely.
to create AI to come in place.
Great. So now let's get to one dimension of the employee life cycle in an organization, which is talent management and maybe talent development. So Simon Sinek once said that AI and talent management is like a GPS, right? Guiding employees towards growth while giving organizations a clear view of the future. Research says that 58% of organizations use AI for recruitment. All of us know that. And McKinsey says that companies with AI driven learning see a 35% faster upskilling. So, Priya, how can organizations use AI to revolutionize hiring, learning, and career development? And what have been some of your experiences in this regard? You're on mute, Priya.
I said, thanks, Ramesh. So AI, of course, has been transformative irrespective of the industry, irrespective of the function. So talent management is no less. So AI is also always hit its wave in talent management as well by making process more efficient, more personalized, and of course the speed, right? So let's talk about the employee life cycle starting from hiring. Just now, yes, Yugender also was telling that, we use prominently AI in hiring, which I totally agree. In fact, starting from job description, in fact, any job description can be analyzed and have the right resume to be shortlisted in terms of they use, keywords in terms of uh, experience, qualification. Any of the keywords can be used, and the relevant JD, the relevant resume can be fetched. And apart from that, I know organization receives a lot of resumes in terms of any posting. So to process this large resume, they use again the keywords, the same keywords in terms of qualification, and or it could be in terms of your experience, in terms of your preferences. And of course, the right resume can be fetched, which is relevant for the organization. The most interesting part is the chatbot. I see many organizations, including ours, we use chatbot when we have, to ensure the there's this engagement with the potential candidates, right, or any candidates. So what happens when you have? I remember earlier when there was hiring and things like that, we had to wait for the recruiter to get back to us as to what is the status. Here you have to just post a question to chatbot and you'll understand what is the application status. Any general queries can be addressed by the chatbot, or even the interview also scheduling is done by chatbot, right? So all these things predominantly can be done by hiring. And I remember this Unilever, in fact, puts in a lot of AI in terms of hiring. I know the and I read this somewhere that actually they've saved 73% of their hiring on the response time because of this AI. And our organization also use it in terms of, in our organization we get a lot of resume and we have to put it in a user ready template. It's a typical template. In fact, we use AI to ensure those resumes that we get, which are in various forms, have been put into our organization template. So apart from that, of course, we come to the next phase of learning and development. In learning and development, predominantly AI plays a very important role in terms of personalized learning, offering personalized learning. What we do earlier as learning and development, we have the team, we do the quick, training need analysis, and then we do the quick TNI, and then we understand what are the skills required, and then we start understanding, then we start creating a individual development plan, right? A IDP is what we used to create. Right now, we don't need to do all those things. We have AI to create a personalized plan. Do a simple skill build. IA can actually do a skill gap analysis, understand where our employees stand in terms of the skills, in terms of the performance, in terms of the goals, and give them a customized or a training learning plan. In content, someone's telling the content is one, Ramesh, you were telling the content creators are the people who might face a problem. While of course we content creators are there, content curators are there, AI in fact recommends program for people who really need, based on the preferences, based on the materials that have actually read. They actually recommend preferences. This could be of your interest. These are our current skills, right? AI, in fact, we have something called predictive analysis. I'm sure all of us are aware of that. Using that, it can even predict the future skills as to what our employees should be upskilled on, so that we can actually upskill our employees on those skills so that we ensure they are future ready. And moving on after L&D, I'm just coming to the one more part, is that the career development. Most of our organizations have IJPs, right? The internal job posting. And we have resumes floating in, say that I want to apply for the AJP. These AIs within an organization also choose the right skills, choose the right criteria that is required. I'm sure every organization has minimum criteria that is required for the IJP. All these things are gone. All these skins are actually taken into consideration, and the relevant resume is taken for the internal job posting. The most interesting part is we have mentors and coaches. Now we have virtual coaches, right? Virtual coaches that is part of the AI. Where virtual is called virtual coaching assistants as part of AI. In fact, who gives you continuous feedback for their performance improvement. I remember sometimes when we used to have this feedback, we would wait for our managers to come in a quarterly and give your feedback, or half yearly give feedback. You really don't have to wait, because AI can give you continuous improvement plan based on your areas of improvement, based on your work, based on your performance, and all of these. So in net, what I would say, AI, of course, is hitting the market big time in terms of talent management, predominantly for their efficiency, predominantly for the personalized path, and of course the speed as well. So these are some of the examples that I could think of. And I know one more thing that I missed was, in our organization, after every learning, every training that we do, especially we invest a lot in technology. Ours is a technology organization, right? So we invest a lot on training. Could be Snowflake, SQL, Python, AWS, all of them we invest. And we train a lot of employees, and might be, there could be a gap from the training and the project application. So they don't have to depend on the trainer to, I might have a query for the Snowflake training program that I finished after like a month ago. So after every training program, they're given access to a link to a chatbot. And it could be even after a month, I have a query for the training I completed, put the query on the chatbot, and they have the entire response to it. So what will happen? The dependency on the trainer is reduced, and they know they always have a 24/7 support in case of any queries, in case of any clarifications that they need. So this is something that's hitting our waves in our organization, and some of these examples in terms of how AI is helped in talent management role. And succession planning also, I'm sure it will come great way.
Very interesting, especially like that personal assistant and personal trainer, right? So, so that the post training, the support can be not just immediate but forever, and also helps us in terms of understanding what's the ROI or the training effectiveness.
Absolutely.
So now moving on, I have a question for Viral Vora. In terms of preparing the workforce for an AI-driven future, Mick Whitman says that AI will not take away jobs. There were a lot of discussions prior to this. AI will not take away jobs. It will take away tasks, freeing us to focus on creativity and problem solving. And research from the World Economic Forum says that 50% of the employees will need reskilling by 2025. And then IBM says that employees trained in AI skills are 35% more likely to achieve career growth. So the question to you, Viral, is what strategies can organizations adopt to prepare their workforce for our AI-driven transformation?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me here today. And see, as far as AI is concerned, it's no longer kind of a technology in research. It's very proven today across industries, across functions. So you look at brick and mortar industries like manufacturing, retail, healthcare, BFSI. They all have adopted technology in general, but they all have now very proven and very matured AI solutions available to help them. You look at horizontal functions like legal and HR and customer support and finance. There are very proven and matured AI technologies available to help organizations over there. So companies, it doesn't matter which industry you are in, it doesn't matter which function you are part of, horizontal function, they all will have to start implementing AI technology. So it's already here, it's been being implemented across industries, across functions. Your competition is doing it, and you better do it. You just don't have a choice around it. uh, they'll have to they'll have to look at their internal functions and take a let's say a company like Reliance. If they have 100 people in their legal department, I can assure you that they are not hiring the 101st. They are looking at AI technology to augment the capacity of 100 legal people inside their company right now. They're going to wait to hire the 101st, and they're going to look at and the number of proven solutions available in the market today. to help with that. I mean, you look at, companies like IBM, for example. They have thousands of people just in their HR and recruiting departments. The number of, AI technologies, smart technologies, available to, for them to experiment, for them to really, figure out what works for them. But they are not hiring their next, recruiter. They are not hiring their next HR person. They are looking at, these bots. They are looking at these intelligent, systems that can enhance productivity of their existing people, and more than productivity, to give them an edge. Sometimes, it's just not, I mean, AI can do repetitive tasks, but AI can do stuff, that gives you edge that humans can't do. Although, because humans get, uh, they get, they have, there are lots of issues, with human. They have very highly highly, basically functional brain, and the same brain, does not work in certain tasks that AI can do, much better. So I think everyone will have to look at their organization top down. And I believe it's Narayan who said that, AI and technology in general is amongst top 3 priorities for leaders. Uh, uh, that would have to come from top to the bottom, across functions, across their processes. Look at their industry specific solution, figure out where they get productivity gains and where they get that edge, that they can't otherwise, that their competition is implemented. So area that I am, close to, the whole HR world. We There's some work that we do, and there is work that I have seen in industry happening, which is truly transformative, truly gives, everyone an edge that you can't otherwise, have. uh, and That's it, just bound to happen, and it's happening more rapidly than, whatever everyone thought. And what has happened is, with the whole post corona, the adoption cycle for any technology has reduced dramatically. Pre corona adoption cycles for technology were very different, and post corona technology adoption cycles are very different. So there is rapid innovation, there is rapid acceptance. Even if, people learn something, on the way, and they continuously improve. So that's happening. Regardless of which industry you are in, you don't have a choice but to look at it very, very, as a high priority. Look at it very critically, top down. uh, Not only improve productivity of your company, your people, but also get an edge, that as a company, that you can't, that your competition is going to have, or they already have, and you can't miss it to have. At an employee level, like you rightly said, AI is not going to change your job, but if you don't get upgraded, with AI, you're going to be, you're going to be outdated. It's not man versus machine, it's man with machine. And so that's the future. No one's got any choice to kind of, undo any of it now. It's here to stay. Just just you know uh, just kind of, look at everything. It's going to be part of your organization, planning. It's going to be part of every single, how when you implement ERP, you look at every single business process very critically in your organization. It's very similar. You're going to rewrite the business process architecture, across company using this. So that's going to happen. Now, with AI, there is a lot of, AI and machine learning systems are intelligent, decision making systems. So a lot of things, that do automation also get classified as AI, but that's not, I mean, that's just automation. It's intelligent automation, and there is no decision making, or there is no, machine learning involved in it. All those things, put together are going to going to be very critical in numerous examples across industries, across functions, that are getting changed. And someone was asking this question, what's going to get replaced. One thing that's already get highly impacted is customer support function. It doesn't matter. So when you if you have if you are an organization if you're in kind of business, that's called a large customer support team. Everyone has, everyone has cut that down with AI technology that understands, natural language processing. And aviation is an industry, for example, I mean, you're not talking to a human, unless you really need to. AI is solving, natural language, the ability, the technology has gotten so smart in understanding, natural language, that 8 out of 10 problems are getting solved by AI. So this kind of some of these industries, in some of these functions are seeing more transformation than otherwise. So if, let's say, if Indigo is doing it, SpiceJet does not have a choice but to do it. So that's where it's happening. If Delta is doing it, American Airlines does not have a choice but to do it. So it just this is just an example of one industry, one function, but the many things across the board which are changing. So that's where everyone will have to kind of look at it critically and do it as fast as they can. That's
Right. Yes, Viral, I think, as I've always been saying, that AI will not take away jobs, but will take away tasks. What it means is that people, as Kanika was saying some time back, the repetitive tasks, the monotonous tasks, which are at the bottom of the pyramid, will be replaced by AI and automation, and people will perforce have to move up the value chain, upskill themselves. And people who are able to augment their intelligence with the AI, with the artificial intelligence, are the ones who will survive, and people who do not embrace or leverage technology are the ones who will be left behind.
Can I add a
So
point,
that takes sure.
Rajesh, for Viral's as example of the airline industry? While customer service in the airline industry, a lot of it is automated because of AI chatbots and things like that. At the same time, please note that this year, the largest airplanes have been ordered by Indian aviation industry in the world. Okay, India has always been in the forefront of adopting technology, especially when it comes to payment systems or customer service, because we've been quick in adopting technology. I mean, I wouldn't say that across the board, but if you take an average, if you compare with Europe or Americas, we have adopted technology quite well when it comes to AI. And I'm not saying that it's across the board again. However, we have Indigo and Air India have placed the largest orders ever, uh, even crossing the American Airlines. Okay, this year, both of them have placed orders of over 500 aircrafts. So, and obviously that means that huge operations are going to come in place, and therefore huge. So this, while one person may think that okay, there is a demand, okay, but the same thing is it's the reorganization that the organization is doing. The expenses get distributed into another space, and then jobs are created again. So, and that's happened over a period of time, last 1.5, maybe 100 years actually. Whenever automation has happened, automation has been happening forever, by the way. The reorganization of manpower has happened. So, manpower will always have to be agile to and adapt, while adoption will keep on taking place. I just wanted to put that point.
Yeah, very interesting, Yugandha. Now let's take it to the next level. Why are we doing all this? I think Arjun has got a question. Maybe we can take it up a little later, Arjun, or is it urgent? Or you want to ask a question?
No, no, I just wanted to add, since we are just touching upon aviation, right? Um, just what, just continuing with what Yugandhar has said, that since I'm associated with, aviation industry, that the role of pilots which have evolved. Okay, so nowadays pilots, they're not known. People who fly aircrafts are known as pilots. They're known as CRMs, cockpit resource managers. Okay, so CRMs essentially they have adopted. Now, it's not that they don't have to understand aviation, but they have to understand every aspect of every control in the cockpit, and over and above, the element of human interface in a cockpit will never vanish. I can say this with a level of conviction because I'm married to one. So I just want to put it out there. Right?
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you, Arjun. So That brings me to the next question, Paresh. Why are we doing all this? Of course, we talked about AI at the workplace for a winning workplace. Some of you all talked about in terms of it helps us in terms of efficiency, in terms of scale, in terms of speed, in terms of personalized experiences. But then nobody is running a charity organization. End of the day, it all boils down to money, right? So, how is AI helping us in terms of productivity gains? Is our next topic. Peter Drucker talks about productivity as productivity is never an accident. With AI, it becomes a calculated transformation. And Accenture has reported AI adoption boosts workplace productivity by 40%. And IBM, once again, in its research, has shared that organizations save 30 to 50% on time on repetitive tasks with AI. So, Paresh, the question is how can AI driven productivity gains translate into tangible business and employee outcomes? What has been your experience?
Sure. Thanks, Ramesh. Thanks you for asking the question. So let me first start with the thing is that AI has not been new. It's like what we've been discussing is that in the recent times it's been popular and all, but otherwise it's been there probably since the early when I started learning coding. It's almost since 2007 and Amazon, Google, everyone has been using it. If you look at autonomous airplanes and everything, it's all AI. Okay, just that that's not AI in the sense that we are speaking today. Okay, that's like Viral was saying, a lot of machine learning models, a lot of automation gets bundled as AI. Okay, now what's difference between then and now is what probably a ChatGPT has done about 10 years ago or before that is that it's democratized AI for every common man, right? You and me can today use GPT to get answers, which was not possible earlier. Even organizations used to use GPT, AI everywhere, everywhere. Like if you look at manufacturing, everything is predictive analytics and AI driven. It's not just a new thing. Now, when it comes to a common man, when it comes to as an employee, you are able to access intelligent systems. How is it a difference? Now, let me not go into a jargon there, but I'll probably tell how it actually helps a real work because I am a hardcore programmer as well, and I used to code, and even today I do. So, how does it improve a workplace productivity? When we speak about 40%, what does that 40% mean to you and me, right? Everyone must have heard about Microsoft Copilot or a Cursor AI or any of the speed programming tools that you learn, right? So like say today, if you just want to do a simple example of like say, I want to list down all the GHRC members on a world map, okay? And you want to write a program like that. Earlier, you had to do a research on how does Google API work, get an API key for there, create a code, which language you want to choose, all of that. Today, with something like a Cursor AI, in an input, you just write a prompt saying that, hey, I want to build all the members on GPT, and you can chat with it, and the code gets written on your left. Right? It's a pure program. You don't even have to write a single line of code. And something that probably for an expert programmer takes about 2 to 3 hours will probably just take me 20 minutes to write that page entirely. Now, that is the real productivity gain, right? You're speaking about how 3 hours is getting cut down. Yeah, I'm not speaking about if I don't know how to write the program, I can't. Definitely not. I'm not speaking about that. But someone who knows it can cut it down from 3 hours to probably 20 minutes, right? And you know it. You can debug. You can do everything with it. You face an issue, you don't even have to go and search. Earlier, you used to go for search. You probably used to use Stack Overflow to search the answer, see which part you should use and write it today. Today, you don't have to go out of your editor. Now, that is the productivity gain. Now, how does it impact your outcomes? An organization which probably used to have a reviewer, a tester, and a programmer, a senior programmer, and a junior programmer, we just need one developer who understands the entire system and the workplace. That's the real gain in terms of outcome. But if as a product, if I don't give this tool and a Copilot or Cursor AI to my developer who already gets this outside, now he feels demotivated. Your engagement levels are going down, right? This is just one example of a programmer getting replaced. That's when I said programmers are going to get replaced. The way you have learned doing coding is not needed now. You have to understand systems, you have to understand applications. You don't need to learn the for loops, or you don't have to remember any of those algorithms or anything. Okay. yes, you need to still know which algorithm you need to use. That's the game. So this is the way it's going to replace probably the major of the chunk of Indian workforce staffing agencies, that probably like all the IT software companies is what I call. They are staffing agencies. You actually have people just doing the same code. All of this can be driven through productivity for an employee. Second example, I'll probably take another example. Customer support is you spoke about, right? Now, what happens with customer support is that you already had this templatized answers, and if a question was coming, people were already getting these answers to reply. Okay, just that there was a missing context. Like, say, you don't know when this person ordered last time, what was he thinking, what is his behavior, what is his feeling, is something that you can't get it from an answer reply. And you usually get a response from a customer support saying that, hey, we will get back to you, I know this is the status or something. What Gen AI does with probably an agentic system or a rack system is that it can get your history, it can understand what you have done, what was the responses earlier to you, and write a different note as if a senior support, escalated support was. Now, that is how you're redefining the entire workbooks. Now, by doing this, what you're doing, you're changing the dimension of support system working. And are you going to replace the support guy sitting on the end? No, because support is all about empathy. Yeah, you can get a chatbot to answer questions, but support is all about, you want to speak to someone. You need to get that entire context and what needs to be done with an AI system. Now, these are things that I'll probably discuss in a little later, but there's just two examples. But there are multiple such examples when Priya was speaking about personalization, right? Or automation, where you write personalized email with context, with integrating with your rack system, with your system, understanding the database, and then writing an email which is with the way, like I think HubSpot has been prominent in doing this, where you get a concept of doing a research about a person, understanding what he posts on LinkedIn or probably on social media, understanding what he tweets, and then writing a personalized email to him, which is very different from what was there earlier. Now that's the way. And would you send entirely automated? No, absolutely not. There is someone who is sitting on the back end who reads this, I think. But something that used to take me 5 to 6 hours are going to happen in the next probably 15 minutes. So that's the way AI is changing individually for you and me on everyday basis. And what's going to happen is that all of your employees are going to ask for using these tools. They say, hey, this tool is so useful for me. Why don't I integrate with my current workplace? Where do I start using it for my productivity change? And that is where probably the HRs need to start dealing with, because so many different systems, so many different tools, which to allow, which not to allow, what kind of information you need to allow to go out, not go out, is something that HRs are going to face challenges with. I'll probably pause here, open for question again.
Very interesting. But I think one of the members, Sri Lava, someone asked this right now. How do we integrate all the various systems and use AI to bring about some integration? Now that some of what you said is quite scary. So that brings us to the next question: that how the ethical considerations in AI, right? So Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, says that with great power comes great responsibility, and AI must be a force for fairness and inclusivity. Now, Pew Research has said that 65% of the executives worry about biases in AI models. While we all thought that AI can reduce biases, there are research which says that a lot of people worry that AI itself can be biased, and that's a very worrisome factor. And the EU AI Act emphasizes transparency and accountability in AI. And I think the world leaders are now trying to grapple with this situation and trying to come with a common understanding of the responsible use of AI. So the question to you, Viral, is what ethical considerations should leaders keep in mind while implementing AI at the workplace?
Yeah, well, yeah, this is a very important issue, and ethical and legal considerations are, if anything, that stops or reduces the speed of innovation in AI. It's going to be this whole, the whole issues, around regulatory issues and ethical issues. So. What are these systems? These systems are inherently some decision making system, and these decision making systems are how do they come about? They come about, with data, training data that's fed into it. And when the underlying training data inherently is biased, it produces, biased decisions. And when those systems are, deployed at scale, essentially what you're doing is, you're deploying those biased decisions, at scale. So that's the fundamental issue, So let me give you a very specific, example. There's this company called as, and I'm going to take, this name because there's an ongoing, the legal issues, and this is in news, everywhere. So there's this company called as Higher Review, and they have AI enabled video interview, technology. It's gotten implemented at practically all Fortune 500 companies. Very recently, CVS, a large pharmacy in US, had to settle a class action lawsuit because the inherent algorithms, facial recognition algorithms, were challenged by candidates who got rejected through that technology. And finally, CVS, the end client that implemented, that technology, had to settle that class action lawsuit with reasonably hefty penalties. And I'm sure in even higher view would have, paid some portion of that. But this is happening. There are things, that are happening. These we talked about, someone talked about resume matching, with JDs while back, on the panel over here. And there's this, there is this research program that was implemented at Amazon, which is available, for anyone to study. So a bunch of, research engineers at Amazon created an AI model to shift through all the resumes that they get and find, find candidates who are going to be like, their successful candidates based on their previous hires. And what they found was those algorithms, were biased against women, because the training data of successful hires from past had data in favor of men. So when you had, resumes that came up with uh, a women's college or a women's chess club, the algorithms penalized that. Amazon never really put that algorithm in production, but responsible and ethical AI implementation is very, very critical. Anyone, if you have some solution which is not being deployed, wide scale, you're going to get away with it. But if you think that you deploy something, at scale, and if it's not responsible, if it's not ethical, it's genuinely open AI, and Microsoft and Google, they are being pulled by courts about what training data their AI algorithms are using. Are they biased? Are they unbiased? Do they have consent for that data? I mean, how are they creating the systems, and what's the, what's basically the, because they're making a whole lot of, decisions, I mean, you're just in the HR world, an AI algorithms making a decision just looking at the resume that, this candidate is hireable and this candidate's not hireable. And the candidate, a living human being, has some rights, that are available to him to challenge in the court if he or she thinks that, he's being discriminated by an algorithm which is, cooked up by a bunch of engineers with unbiased, unscientific data, and now it's gospel, for everyone else to, now it's truth. So it's there are areas like customer support, for example, natural language understanding, me serving, facts. So uh, if I go on, let's just take an example of Delta and, talk to any AI agent about, their cancellation policy, I'm, the bot's understanding whatever I speak, it's answering me with facts. There is no bias. I mean, it's telling me this is cancelable, this is not cancelable, this is the refund I'll get, based on Delta policy, based on, terms I signed. There is no issue. But an algorithm, that matches, a resume with JD and says that, this candidate's good and this candidate's not good. Well, more than likely, at some point of time, especially if you operate in, the Western world, where citizens are more aware about their rights, and you're going to get pulled in the court, and you're going to have to prove your algorithm and say that it's got some merit to it. It's not someone's fancy. So it's a huge issue. You cannot really avoid it. I mean, think of an autonomous vehicle. Think of Tesla. Let's say it gets into a situation where it has to make a decision. Does it collide with a human or does it collide with a dog? I mean, imagine, it's at a point where it has to veer to the right or left. And if it goes to the right, there is a human in front. If it goes to the left, it's a dog in the, it's a dog. Now, who makes that decision, who to kill, who to get into with an accident, just think about those kind of situations, on one side, let's say there is a man, and on the other side, there is a woman, and the algorithm has to make a decision. Do I make an accident on the left or on the right? And what do I do? There are a whole bunch of issues, over here. And you got to be, more and more governments, everywhere, they'll come into play, they'll challenge it. And you got to be, you got to be very, very, considerate, about these issues. You're not going to be able to wish them away. You can't say that, I came up with this works and this is what it does. And then you have some data that, it does it better by 20%, 30%, 40%. It's going to work in small scale, not at large scale, So
Sure, Viral. I guess there are pros and cons of any part, anything which has been introduced or anything in this world. There are pros and cons. I'm sure that we need to be more responsible and considerate, because end of the day, there is a human being in AI, right? As you rightly said, there's somebody sitting there, they're writing a program, algorithm, nothing but a set of instructions, somebody sitting and writing. And if that person is biased, probably the algorithm or the program could be biased. So definitely, I think this is a very interesting and a very important debate. I'm sure we can have a debate on this for hours or days to go. That brings me to the next one, the future, right? So, putting on, say, astrologers had Paresh, Jeff Bezos says that the only thing constant in the AI revolution is change. Embrace it and you will thrive it, right? And Gartner says by 2030, AI-driven organizations will be 2.5 times more efficient than competitors. And Accenture says that AI technologies will influence 70% of the workforce operations. So the question to you is, what emerging AI trends will significantly impact the workplaces in the next 5 to 10 years?
Sure. Thanks, Ramesh, again. Looking at the future, right? Like looking at the last couple of years, the way AI changed in the last 2 years is very different from what it did for the last a decade before that, right? So it's changing so fast. Every damn company, every damn organization is building something on this. Now, would you classify it into multiple things? Now, first thing that's happened because of all the LLM is what they call large language models, or the Gen AI is segment that we are speaking about. This is exactly a revolution like what happened to an iPhone or an Android, right? The way apps were built on Android and iPhone, now apps are being built on top of this llamas, okay, or large language models. So every company is trying to build a model on top of the llama or integrated with the llama. So that's like there are multiple different frameworks they call it. It's a RAG framework or an agentic AI. Agentic AI is the next big thing that's coming up. Probably not even, it's not going to take a decade or so. It's probably in the next 4 to 5 years. Now, what's going to happen here is that every vertical will have an agent that does one task very well. So like say you spoke about resume parsing and resume. All of the resume parsing were keyword based matching earlier, right? Now with an llama, there's an agent which thinks like a recruiter. It can predict whether this person is going to stay with your company or not. So that's an agent. Someone is going to build an agent like that. Now, someone will say, I will build an agent whether this person is going to come back to me or he doesn't fit into my culture or not. Now, how do you do that? You use a survey, you use things, so multiple things. And people are going to build apps like this, vertical agents for every little thing. Now, these agents, vertical agents that are being worked on is going to be used everywhere. Like say your regular productivity, small thing task that you do on every day is going to be replaced by an agent. Now, a simple example again, I'll come back to an example which is happening right now in WhatsApp. So there's a company called Sync.io is a company. What it does is, if you have to today review or push a code, right? Once the moment you push onto your repository, it pulls this repository, it reads the repository, there's a hook that goes in. It reads the code entirely within a couple of minutes. It finds out what are the security issues in the code. And if there are any security issues, it also raises a pull request. So a pull request is what we say is a developer raises a pull request to review code. Now this has removed at least 3 to 4 roles of people. Okay. A simple push actually does the entire journey of your security review testing, VAPT, and the first level of thing. And there's a pull request. Again, there's a developer who understands the pull request and pulls it back. Okay. But now this is what happened. And as a developer, otherwise I would have had a tester to do this testing. I'm going to wait for him for the next 1 week, right? Now, because this simple agent is available for me, I will use that. I would want to use that and incorporate it in my workplace. Now, every company, every team lead or I would say every vertical in a company will start asking for agents to automate, to understand, to replace their repeated tasks. Now, this is the future, at least in the next couple of years. This is going to change a lot more in the future with a lot more research being happening, but this is going to, you'll start seeing this soon without any delay. Yeah, I'll
Absolutely. Very interesting. Again, we're getting an insight of what's right, demanding that we have an agent for every vertical.
Yes.
So that brings me to the next question. How do we make this as a culture, Uganda? How do we build a winning workplace with AI? The question to you is, how can organizations use AI to foster a collaborative and innovative workplace culture? Can AI-driven insights help leaders better understand and align with the needs and aspirations of their employees? I request you to keep it short. We're running short of time, so
Sure.
Uganda, over to you.
Thank you. I'm going to keep it to just 2 minutes or so. As Viral pointed out, adoption of AI, innovation, and action, all three of them are non-negotiable anymore. And very soon, every organization should look at all three aspects: adoption, innovation, and action using AI. Why AI? Because it'll ease in doing things within the operations, within each process. Agility in implementation, agility in understanding, innovation to do things better, analytics to innovate, intervene, and do the rest of the aspects that we have to do, and shorten the cycle, improve the outcome, quality. So all of this is why AI is required in an organization. And how do you do it? Like Paresh had mentioned, LLMs, Gen AI, ML models, algorithms. We've always been using many of these, but with ChatGPT, actually what's really changed is LLMs and ChatGPT usage at almost every level now. ChatGPT is being used by almost every learned person. Its access is there at a very low cost. But at an organization level, there are two things. There's an organization perspective and there's an employee perspective, individual perspective. And for organizations to perform well, there are actually Gallup had mentioned that there are two things that are lacking big time out of their study. And one is unclear expectations set by organization. And this has to keep evolving more and more because AI is going to change expectations for the organization and they will be more proactive. The second is that there are weaker connection with the organization's purpose. So employees' connection with the organization is weaker than before. And that's because they do not understand purpose. They do not understand vision of the company because a lot of times the vision and purpose itself is taking a different color. And second thing is organizations are focused on task and lesser with outcome, and they do not involve the employee in the journey of the success for the organization. And this is the two things that are very important. So how does AI come into play and make a big change for individual outcome and organizational outcome? So like I told you, AI is Gen AI, is LLM models, basically natural language models, they're basically ML models, and then there is a lot more automation that also comes into play, and organizations have to adopt this. And what we can actually do, libraries which are individual focused, personalized, can improve competence of employees, and employees have to be open to it. As I told you, adoption and adaptation is very important. OCR based text reading and input form filling things will improve task management. Voice based recognition and implementation. Then recognition, prediction of absenteeism, prediction of attrition, prediction of capability, potential of employees, extremely important going forward. These will actually change an organization to become a winning workplace. And same time, employees can be in the right place. The fitment will be much better if these are implemented. The next is text enhancement. I think it's going to revolutionize the way things are done, agility and quality, both. The quality of output with text enhancement can, I mean, while it's not fully there, it's going to get better and better. Chat, and this is being used at a very, very fundamental level in an organization now. Chat, AI based chatbots have revolutionized the way information is sought in an organization, but that's not going to limit it itself to information seeking. It will go on to personalized information management, personalized development, and personalized answer seeking for every problem that they face. So chat is going to revolutionize. Chat is already implemented in many of most places, AI based chat. Then work planning, extremely important. Goal based AI creations are, yes, already there. Our work planning for an employee to plan the work to achieve those goals with the help of AI, that is the next step. Very important. So a winning workplace needs all of this in place. And finally, as I mentioned about action planning and implementation, assignment, in every place in the workplace, all of this can be much better with AI. Viral was mentioning about adoption and action, but at the same time, ethical standards have to be maintained in an organization, and that is going to be the job of both tech and HR. Going forward, HR has to be careful about outcomes and people impact that such models can actually have. While things will only get better, in my opinion, there will be some rough patches that will be there for both the organization and HR as such. I hope this is important that we learn that OCR, voice, text enhancement, scoring, parsing, content creation, library creation, predictions, absenteeism, attrition, which is very important, and chat. These are things that are already used. Strategy making will be the next thing that with an organization to make it a winning workplace. I hope
That's a great laundry list of tools, AI tools available to a leader, right? In terms of helping foster a collaborative and innovative workplace culture. So I'm sure that there are a lot of students who have logged in today, and many of us who have been listening to it must be a little worried and stressed. So therefore, I think we need to talk about the workforce well-being, Kanika. My question to you is, AI is increasingly being used to support workforce well-being. How can AI help organizations identify stress factors, improve work-life balances, and enhance employee wellness? Are there any challenges in implementing such initiatives effectively?
I think AI is playing a very transformative role, in identifying some of these areas, Ranjan. When it comes to stress factors, there are multiple AI tools that actually analyze patterns in communication, the workload data, and the employee feedback to identify the early signs of the burnout or stress. NLP is one such example that can assess sentiments in employee surveys, flagging areas of concern even before they escalate. And very interestingly, Amber is one such tool that has been built by Infido that actually is being used by multiple organizations to assess the sentiments of employee at each stage in their life cycle by reaching out directly to the employees. When it comes to work-life balance, I think organizations are designing balanced workloads by monitoring work hours, the breaks that are scheduled, and they are recommending task reassignments to prevent any overburden on the employees. Some platforms also use AI to suggest flexible schedules tailored to individual productivity patterns, improving efficiencies without compromising on the well-being. Wellness programs, I think many of us would be aware. There are personalized wellness recommendations like meditation apps and fitness plans that are increasingly driven by AI. To talk about it, whenever we get hooked on to a particular wellness app, it actually sees the patterns in terms of what we would like to see and what kind of engagement participation we would like to get enrolled into. That's what AI analyzes and then throws back, different modules back at us to, engage us and get us to participate. When it comes to the challenges, I think one of the biggest challenges is the data privacy and trust. Right. I think it's a very well-known issue. So that's why, many people may be hesitant to share even their personal data that is required for AI to analyze, fearing the misuse of surveillance. Not related to this, but there was a case that happened in 2018 where Alexa overheard a conversation and sent it, recorded a random conversation, sent it to a contact, of a person. I think that was one of the biggest, breaches that happened that actually revolutionized in terms of, how AI should be looking at data privacy and create trust for the people who use it. As Viral and Yogendra and everyone here on the esteemed panel mentioned that there are biases and algorithms that need to be looked at. I think AI need to be carefully designed to avoid any kind of biases, that could misinterpret the needs of the employee and unfairly target any specific groups to address those issues. So therefore, regular audits must happen, and then looking at diverse data sets, it's very essential to address some of these challenges of the biases in the algorithms. The third challenge would be that I feel is the integration with the company culture. When it comes to wellness initiatives, I think they need to align with the organization culture and goals. Without the leadership buy-in and a clear communication, even the most advanced AI solutions, fail to gain, the larger traction that the organization is looking at to achieve. So with that said, I think AI can significantly improve the employee well-being by proactively identifying stress factors and promoting work-life balance and enhancing the wellness initiatives. I think some of these challenges, if the organizations are able to address around privacy, bias, and cultural alignment, I think these systems can be very, very effective, and they'll be wonderfully embraced by employees, creating much more engagement in the organizations.
Very, very well said, Kanika. Now, we just got some more time. The last question to you, Priya. I've been a strong advocate for quite some time, even before the advent of ChatGPT, saying that bring the human back into HR. So the question I would like to talk about is how do we balance human and machine collaboration? And the question two would be what challenges arise in integrating AI while maintaining the human element at the workplace?
Yeah. Ramesh, this is a question that's very close to my heart, actually. Um, we've been hearing so much about AI integration, that, AI has been very transformative. We've been using AI for integrating various functions for the simple reason being it's efficient. It can be used for personalization, for speed, and while all of this can be considered, we should never undermine the human element. That's very, very important. That human element in terms of employee or customer interaction. The simple reason being that we as humans, right? Like I said, we have the conscience and we have the social skills, and we would like to be valued and supported. And I don't know, I feel that no AI can actually give that support in terms of your empathy or in terms of understanding the human relationship I don't think that can actually happen. I understand there are various versions of AI, but this empathy, this in form of human relationship is something that's very, very important. So coming back to the question in terms of challenges, in terms of implement or integrating both of them, we see that once an AI is come to any organization, there's always a job security, there's always a panic anxiety among employees. Will I lose my job? And this anxiety in fact can come up to reduce stress, and these kind of tension can overshadow the benefits of AI that comes into the organization. The other thing is that I see some of the organizations so dependent, so advocating about AI, that we sometimes sideline the human ability. We human have got ability like strategic thinking, conflict handling, conflict management, emotional intelligence. We sometimes happen to sideline it. And of course, AI in fact analyzes so much of data that earlier traditionally human used to do that. So there was always an interaction which is somehow it is reducing, is what many of the organizations. And the other thing that we always see seen is the chatbot, right? In customer service, I heard we use chatbot, we use a lot of chatbot, be it customer service or anything. Well, while AI can answer a lot of questions, there could be certain situations where people would like to talk to humans. Certain situations, like, for example, I remember my brother, taking my own personal instance. My brother is down from Australia, from Sydney. I don't want to mention the bank, but one of his card got, expired. It was so difficult for him to get in touch with someone, because it was AI chatbot that was responding, and was so frustrated. He's like, can I get to speak to some human? I want to hear a human voice. And in fact, he had to go to the bank the next day to sort that out. These are some of the challenges that we can practically see. And to how can we strike these balance with human element and the AI with all these challenges is that, first of all, when any organization is getting an AI, there should be a sensitization, that these are the tools here to enhance and not to replace the ability, or not to replace the human capabilities. There should be a sensitization among the employees. And there can be, like I said earlier, there can be training programs that can help employees improve their creativity, improve their critical thinking, improve their strategic thinking, which of course, like I said, strategic thinking, creativity, negotiation skills, or conflict management is something more to the human ability. And of course, I've always told in any of my addressing any of my talks, leaders must have constant, or leaders must be in constant touch with their employees, which means they should have open communication, and they are the leaders, and they should be modeling the empathetic behavior. With all these things, when we have a constant touch and open communication, all these things, I think we can certainly strike a balance wherein AI can have their positive impacts like efficiency, data driven, and human, and combined with human strength in terms of creativity, empathy, negotiation skills, and all of them. Combining both of them, and I think we can go a great way, is what I would say, Ramesh.
Absolutely. I don't think humans can ever be replaced, right? They can only be augmented. I would love to go and summarize all this, but I think due to paucity of time, and also thanks to AI, I think AI will do the summarization and give it to you at the end of the day. I will now open this floor for questions from our patient audience who've been waiting with us for so long, and throw open the floor for any questions. You can either ask in the chat, or you could.
Can I go?
Yeah, please.
As Priya ma'am told right now, and I started with this same idea of mine that I want to do something par with AI for the humanity and for the social ability to understand our own potential, so that we choose a better domain for ourselves on basis of our ability and EQ and IQ. So these things I learned from the very childhood. If one is very keen towards and curious about learning about yourself, because right now people are very much keen and drawn towards development, technical development, but what about personal development and growth? If a human focuses on that and other things, that how to be better and do better, I think so we can use AI to do that. And my vision is, if I can, like, I learned soft computing and I learned swift computing in my college. and I learned subjects like iOS development as such. So when I do that, and I'm doing coding since sixth standard, so whenever learned coding when I was in sixth standard, our teachers explained us with human entities and real life entities. So my question here is, if we produce a model and a strategic analysis skill set to any kind of company which held a ideathon or a hackathon, what should be everyone? Can you give me some insights that how would I present this? How would I address the issue in an articulated way so that I don't waste the time of the listeners, and how should they understand this precisely, like my vision?
Can you be specific? What exactly is your question?
I want, if you all can give me a insight about how should I present in an articulated manner about my vision that human ability and human skills and human potential can go at par with AI for development, so that it can do a technological development as well as a human growth and development, to know our own potential and skills, to know our domain, to face the challenges throughout our lives. Like if you can give me insights how to explain in any kind of hackathons and any kind of ideathons that I participate, so that I present it in an articulated manner about whatever Priya ma'am told in the uh, last talk of hers, because even I relate with that a lot, and because of relating with that, and because of and seeing that in daily life, I want insights from all of you. If you can help me to understand how to explain people that artificial intelligence and human intelligence can do development side by side simultaneously. Like human development and growth and potential can be done with the use of AI, because already people give prompt and they ask questions to AI about maybe their personal development, growth, personal life, and everything. I see a lot of my peers
Uh,
also doing that.
Ramesh, can I answer this question? Yeah, I'm going to attempt. Shri, I think Bhageshri, right?
Yes, sir, Bhagesh.
Yeah. So, Shri, basically, human intelligence has multiple aspects to it, and artificial intelligence, while it tries to ape and help human intelligence, as Priya ma'am had mentioned, there is always going to be uh, time for artificial intelligence to catch up to us, and it may happen. I don't know, but our presentation has three parts to it. Our individuality has three parts to it, and at the moment, AI will not be able to replace all of them. Okay, and therefore AI will be a good partner to us, and our behavioral skills, our technical skills will always come in play. So, as an individual, it is important to know what our skill level is against our aspiration. And it's going to be a different path for each individual. So every individual has aspirations, and if you do not aspire, if you do not have those vision and goals in place, it is always going to be difficult for us to understand how we will develop ourselves against that. So the first part is to basically find out what our purpose is, what is our vision. So same thing applies to you. If you would like to a particular area that you would like to develop yourself, then the first thing is to put that in paper, and then on top of that, look at your ways to achieve that, and then how AI and how technology can help you achieve it. So AI will partner you in getting answers for it and getting options for your own development. It will also ease your way to do it. It will also give you agility and better quality in knowing exactly those 6 steps to achieve your vision. And it is going to be different for everybody. Like your aspiration may be to become a pilot. My aspiration may be to become a HR tech, OD specialist, and somebody else would like to be something else. So once you have arrived at it and your purpose is very clear, then you could use AI technology and other humans' intelligence to arrive at what needs to be done. Once that path is clear, AI will constantly help you, with clarity, and also humans will help you with clarity as to what needs to be done to achieve your goal. I'm giving a very generalized result to this because it's very difficult for
Sir,
us to
can
tell.
I add to your insights to be
No,
precise about my question?
Pardon?
Sri, I think we can take this discussion offline. We have understood you, as you said. Reach out to
All
us
right,
separately.
thank you.
We'll try and see how we can mentor you and find and give you a solution. Anybody else would like to ask any questions to our panelists or any point of observations? We are about 4 minutes to go.
Hello everyone. Thank you everyone for the insightful discussion. This is Priyanka. I just have one query. Maybe anyone can take that up. As we know that we should be open enough to adopt this technology incoming and about everything about AI. So just one question, that what strategies can organization use to develop the learning ecosystem so that everyone is the employees specifically they are open enough and adapt that AI systems to grow further? Like how can we bring in that adaptability?
Okay, Priyanka.
Yeah.
Priyanka, here I can take the question. So, Priyanka, in fact, you asked what training, what training, in order we can get to the organization to adapt AI. Like I mentioned, first of all, it should be a top-down approach. From the leadership, it has to be a top-down approach from the leadership, wherein, first of all, we need to have a proper sensitization, a program where you tell your employees, the entire organization, why you've got the AI. And it is, like I said, it's here to replace, right? It is, sorry, it's here to enhance and not to replace. The sensitization has to what is your job and what is the AI going to do. The sensitization, first of all, will help the employees a lot. It will help employees slowly adapt into the AI environment. Other than that, there can be, there can be open houses with the leadership team, or with the managers, to understand how will their roles change after the AI is come into place. How can they use their human capabilities a little more better with AI coming in? So this open houses sensitization, and apart from the training sessions also, by telling that as humans, we are a little more, while it is AI, that's artificial intelligence, we as human have original intelligence with us. And how can we improve our capability, our skill through a lot of training programs, developmental workshops, with all these things. And like I said, all these things, all these multiple steps can certainly help employees adapt to the AI environment a little more better. Not sure, but I hope I was able to answer your question.
Got
So
it.
Priya, I would want to add a
Yeah.
follow-up question here. Would that be all right?
Sure.
So as a L&D head, right, and being a CEO of a company, I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Help me understand here. So yeah, I would probably I've been asking the teams to learn new things, implement this in everything. And being an user myself, I've been promoting this very thing. Somewhere that's not working out. They still feel that the work I'm doing, as long as I'm doing it very well, it's good enough. Okay. Now, should I use a different approach where I say, I mean, because that's the truth. Because I don't know why people are being diplomatic about AI not losing jobs, because it's going to replace jobs. Okay, replace hundreds and thousands of jobs. Don't even have any doubt about it. I've been adaptive. I know that literally. Okay, yeah. Everyone who has humans are very adaptive, and you will pick up new things to learn and new things to do. That's a different story. But the one that are existing, the thousands of computer science students who are graduating will not have a job. Okay. Now, this is a question. Now, for me as an L&D head, how do I push people to learn new things? Because is it like you make them afraid and then say, this is the truth? Or is it that you incentivize them and say, hey, you learn, otherwise what do I do? I don't know there. Will me help it?
Yeah, sure. Very genuine question, which all of them face actually, Paresh. like you said, gone are those days where stick and carrot approaches actually
Absolutely.
to this thing. We're all adults, yeah, where we will only learn when there's something beneficial for us. It's not like students, when the students say, okay, teacher will say, this is XYZ, we just write it down, this thing. As adults, we really need to understand why we're studying, what is it going to be beneficial. And that is when they're going to study. That's what I do. When I'm going for a workshop, for a leadership workshop, I want to learn something new. If not, I'm wasting my time there, right? So that is how it is. So for any employee, if you really make them understand how this new skill is going to be of benefit for them and where they're going to apply, the application is also very, very important, and where they will be able to apply it, and personally how can they prosper in their career because of all these skills, then that can get a change. Stick and characteristic approach, all those things are actually gone. This is predominantly the minds, especially the millennials these days. They want to understand why they're doing and what they're doing at any point of time. And
The
if
Gen Z part, yeah.
they appreciate that to a great extent, they themselves will proactively start attending the workshops or the programs. This is
Sure.
something that personally that I have seen.
Sure. And maybe they have to
Bang
see
on,
the
bang on there.
productivity
Yeah, I
improvement in
think
their
the
daily
WIFM,
work as well.
sorry, I think the WIFM is very important in the entire statement. What is in it for me, right? As individual, what will motivate me to get going there? That's what is the most critical piece.
The millennials directly tell on your face, Priya, you know what? I don't think I really need this. Until you make them understand why you need this and where will you apply and how is it going to be beneficial for you. These things are important.
Yeah. And it has become very personalized thing now, Priya, also, right? Some training module, a similar training module, what's in it for me could be different in terms of what it could mean for you, right? So that personalization is very, very important.
Very interesting. So I'm sure we can debate the whole night with such a elite panel over here. But I think we need to draw close because it's 9 o'clock. I would like to thank all of y'all, the panelists, of course, and all the audiences for having spared your valuable time on a evening, must be dinner time or post dinner time. And we appreciate the insights, the experiences, and the knowledge that you have shared with all of us. I'm sure it have been beneficial to all our audiences. Well, we all agree that AI has come to stay. We also realize that there are the pros and cons, and as humans evolve, the AI will also evolve. And I'm an optimist, and I always believe that an optimist is one who sees an opportunity in every calamity, whereas a pessimist is one who sees a calamity in every opportunity. I think let's look at AI as a partner, as someone said. Let's look at AI to augment our intelligence, our productivity, and I'm sure good days are here to stay for all of us. Thank you very much, and appreciate your time, and look forward to being in touch with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye bye.